Hello friends, welcome back to the channel, but if you're new, hi, hello. I'm Artsy from the Artsy Gamer. I make art, I play games, and I encourage others to do the same. And friends, it's finished. I finally finished my hard mode island. For those who don't know what hard mode is, it's a challenge that was developed by Pat from the Nintendo Talk and the Hooligan community in late December to early January of 2023. And so a couple hundred or perhaps even a couple of thousand of us were doing some really wacky things with our islands. There were a select number of rules that we had to follow in order to be considered a hard mode island. And I have to tell you, friends, this was a very rejuvenating experience for me. But after 5 months, I think I'm ready to say goodbye to this island, put up the dream address around the time that my son and I play, because for those who don't know, I use this island as my morning routine with my son, who is just a little over a year old. And so I thought, why don't we do a little wacky thing of a last hard mode day with the dailies and then uploading the dream address. And we can also talk about what my thoughts were about hard mode itself. So please don't tell me. Okay, thank goodness. I was a little worried about the fact that it was going to be a specific fish because I had that happen last time. I'm going to be holding on to my emotional support bubbles because we do bubble breaks on the Artsy Gamer for like incentives, and so I just thought it would be super fun. When you arrive on the dream address, by the way, there are some goodie bags for you to participate in. She will not be here. That's fine. Let's look at the lineup of the final day of Wildeview. I actually had 4 of the original 10 just stay here. We have Tian Chang, we have Nate, Kurt, Hamfrey, Lucha, Chrissy is new as of this week actually, Soleil, Robert, Petrie, and Maple. I have to tell you, friends, that this island was such a delight to create. I decided to do a no terraforming, no waterscaping island, and I was originally going to do no custom codes and everything outside had to be a DIY, but then I kind of realized that I was putting myself into quite a corner there. So I just kind of went with what was bringing me joy, and I ended up doing the hard thing by creating my own custom codes, all of which that I used on my island will be available for download from a Nintendo Online subscription. So for the final bit, I don't know what I'm going to do with the double insert, how you pronounce that, cheese, but I do have a couple of the mushroom platforms that I want to add. Maybe do some cleaning if it's needed, and I need to make sure that I stunt a couple of trees. And I don't know if they are open yet. No, they're not. Okay. So it looks like we're going to have to wait. But what else is there to add? Ooh. We could add a... Can we add like a small platform here? There we go. The theme of this island was basically kind of, I don't know how to describe it, a coastal low-tech resort where the villagers coming and going wasn't going to inhibit my plans for design. Everything was pretty nature-oriented, all things considered. I basically just kind of went with whatever I was vibing with, and I felt that it turned out pretty well. I ended up doing a lot of things that I never did with an island. I left a lot of things pretty natural, and also, like, as I said, I've never done a no terraforming or no waterscaping island, and so getting to play around with the island's natural landscape was really fun. It was really interesting to be designing into a corner effectively. And I had a really fun time with this island. Specific builds that I had been thinking about incorporating on other islands, but never really could figure out how to make them work. And then all of a sudden it just kind of fit here. And I don't know, I'm really kind of sad to see this island go, but I'm also really excited to move forward with my other island, which if you've seen my Twitter and you've seen my community posts, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't, you'll be seeing it, you know, in a couple of days. So what are my thoughts on hard mode? That's a really good question, actually, because I've been reflecting upon the things that I learned about my design capabilities in Animal Crossing, and I came to the realization that I think a lot of us feel that we aren't creative enough or talented enough to make custom codes, to do things that are outside of our comfort zone in general. And I found that when you rise to the occasion and try new things, when you do the hard thing, you will be pleasantly surprised of what you're capable of doing. I will be honest, though, that did Artsy maybe perhaps cheat sometimes? Yes. Yes. I had some instances where I sold fossils because I didn't have time to go diving. I had instances where I gifted multiple villagers the same day, you know, so I definitely had some hard mode light instances, but I did try very hard to be true to the spirit of hard mode by, you know, all the custom codes that you see are things that I've created. I let villagers go when they asked. I tried my darndest to get villagers to come to the island through the campsite. I had like a 3 times and you're out rule for that, though, so there were some that were just little tarts, really, that wouldn't like let me invite them, and they were being all coy and stuff, so I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of that particular mechanic, but it's okay. But for the most part, I think I'm done. I'm going to be removing the coconuts from the fully developed trees. Fully grown trees, wow. Just because I kind of like the look without the coconuts themselves, so we're just going to go around and do that. And I think I can put them next to other trees. It was really interesting too how a lot of content creators, I think, started off strong until they realized that you kind of have to be consistent with hard mode in order to, I think, effectively play the game with hard mode in mind, because it was community oriented, you know, it was definitely something that prioritized being connected with auctions on the weekends and trading that way, but it can be a little lonely when you're just playing this, like playing hard mode by yourself. But I will say that hard mode really encouraged people to make custom codes, to learn designs from other people, to test the waters with new themes and giving new villagers a chance. Like the fact that I had Hippo on my island and I fell in love with him, not like in a creepy way, just like a normal way, but I like Hippo now. The fact that I have Soleil on my island and she is delightful. The fact that Tian Sheng, who was very thematic, at least for me, a lot of the villagers that I never would have given a chance suddenly had a home on my island, and now it's like I was sad to see them go. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. Nook's Cranny is open. Yay. And along with hard mode, I did take things relatively slow, which is not particularly common, I think, for a lot of Animal Crossing content creators. You know, we just output island after island, build after build, idea after idea. And hard mode is like, well, what if you focused on the dailies? You know, what if you focused on the small things about this game that really allow for us to find joy in the mundane? Watering crops, gifting one villager so that you don't just like get all of their photos and their love and validation in one go. Really taking your time, getting to know the NPCs, utilizing the NPCs. It was truly a new way for me to play. Like, I didn't really do the exercises very much in this when the 2.0 update came out. I loved the mechanic of it. I thought it was cool, but I never really used it. And then all of a sudden, it has become part of my morning routine to do stretches with my son. Even if it's not this specific island, I do it on the other Switch as well. Right, now where was... I have a couple of stunted trees that I need to make sure stays stunted. Oh, we need to get rid of you. And there were some instances where the continuation of routine got a little tedious. It was one of the main reasons as to why I decided to not time travel very often. And I think that did wonders for my burnout, really, because I could take a break and give myself some breathing room for both islands that I had been working on. And I don't know, this island just kind of inspired me to go outside my comfort zones for a lot of things. Like, I'm working on a Mr. Rogers themed neighborhood build. Wait, is there? Okay, that's stunted on purpose. Cool. And I do think that I will be trying my hand at more custom codes that I design, because a lot of the reasons as to why I don't do certain builds is because I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to find a custom code for it. And now it's mostly just, you know, giving myself the ability to try new things and allowing for myself to celebrate the wonders of a new way of being creative. It's a really bittersweet moment that I'm finishing this island, and I'm really excited to have the dream address saved during the time that I usually play with my son. I think that'll be a nice calling card for why this island was so fun to have. I'm really gonna miss it. I'm really going to miss it. I know it sounds silly how connected that I've felt to this island, but for the most part, even though there are some things I wish I could have done a little bit better, or perhaps I wasn't very sure about with creating myself, I did feel that I did a pretty good job with emphasizing that this was more of a beachy vibe, that, you know, people came and went whenever they felt ready to go, and that it was very nature-oriented. I got to use items that I had never considered. As I said, like, I feel that the cheating that I did was not, you know, to the point where I'm canceled as a content creator. Like, I don't feel that I did anything in a way that encouraged people to, you know, not play hard mode with genuine excitement. But I also stand by the belief that if there's a day where you're just not really feeling all of the dailies, it's okay to not finish all the dailies. If you're not feeling like you want to have Katrina steal your money, don't have Katrina steal your money. You know, it's okay to start the day with finishing the dailies in mind, and then, you know, life happens and you didn't pick up the game for the rest of the day, or you wanted to focus on something else. But I did stick true with the economic rules for the most part. I didn't sell my weeds. I sold my bugs solely to Flick, my fish solely to CJ. I did my best to remember to talk to every NPC, which reminds me, we have to talk to Label. I think there were a lot of people who were confused about whether or not they could even participate with Label's design challenges, because I don't think she allows for you to wear specific custom codes, because she puts you in like either, I think it's mostly a shirt, right? And you have to dress around it. Here we are, the last Label design session. Ooh, a rose print jacket. Okay. Okay. Label did not like my design choices on this save for some reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because she saw that I was also a custom designer as well, and she was feeling intimidated, whatever. But let's see what we can wear to be formal. Don't at me about my design choices, okay? I literally don't have much. I've been in the process of getting rid of a lot of items, so do not at me, please. Let me see, is there any like cute blue shoes that I have. You know what? Ooh, ribbon sandals though? Ew. Yeah, you know what, Label? This is what you're getting. Yep, no, this is what you're getting. Absolutely. Designing clothes in this game is so hard, especially because I've been really into doing plaid, and it was so difficult that oh. Wow. This never happens on this island. Well, I'm really glad that she liked it. Cool. Cool. Love it for me. Wow. It's all going my way. Label, I don't know how to tell you this, but we're about to have a good old-fashioned Denzel reset. Yep. 100%. For those who did hard mode, I would love to hear your reflections about what the challenge did for you as an Animal Crossing player, because I think the whole point of hard mode was taking a step back and seeing what you could do to really find enjoyment of, I think, the original mechanics of the game. You know, I know that Animal Crossing as a franchise is you play the way that you want. You create the friendships and rivalries, you decorate with however you can. There's really no wrong way to play this game. But I do feel that it allowed for me to really go back to that 2020 vibe of enjoying what I liked to do in the lull moments. You know, I fished more than I had in years, and caught bugs. I actually started considering the fact that maybe I could get into custom codes more regularly. I invited villagers, as I said, that I really had no choice in the matter. I gave my villagers autonomy, which is something that I don't think we often do. You know, we keep our quote-unquote dreamies on our islands for however long we want them there, you know? And then all of a sudden, they have the autonomy to leave whenever they want. They arrive in the campsite, and then they kick out a person that we may have wanted to go or not to go. And I don't know. I don't quite know how to end hard mode without feeling bad that I'm finishing it. Because as I was starting to sell all of the items, I'm going, oh my god, I'm going to get canceled, oh my god. And but I will say that all of the designs, like when I stopped hard mode, were from purchases that I had made before I started like selling everything. So okay, let's see. We watered our plants. We went to the NPC. We exercised. There's a couple of other things that we need to do. We need to hit rocks, complete DIY projects, catch fish, redeem Nook Miles. We'll go to a cabin island. We'll finish strong with a tribute to my son by going to a cabin island, and we need to get fossils assessed. There's one. Oh, there's a fossil. Love it. We'll do this rock. It's not gonna get me anything, but that's okay. 1, 2. Oh, you know what we could do? We could make this into an actual shovel, like a shovel. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do a shovel, which means that it will become one of the DIYs that I need, so that's perfect. But yeah, there were some parts of this island that I really liked. I like this part, for example, like this notion that it's a little bit of a makeshift post office and kind of sitting area. I fell in love with using the barrel as a table and the box seats. So I don't know, it's like it kind of has that coastal bar vibe, you know, they use what they had. So I really enjoyed using that, and I'll probably use that for other islands as well. And I fell in love, believe it or not. I know this is probably wacky, this is probably silly, but I love adding glowing moss next to the palm trees specifically. I don't know what it does. I think it kind of adds a little bit more, I don't know, like it adds more texture, and I think it allows for the palm trees to look like it fits in more, if that makes any sense. Oh wait, you know what we could do? We could probably already just like finish the DIY with what we have in our inventory. So let's just get that out of the way while I'm thinking about it. All right, so we need 2 more fossils to get that assessed. And of course I can't find it anywhere. Oh wait, here's one. I'm kind of dreading this part because he's going to tell me about the rally still, and I am completely ignoring it. Friends, as much as I love the museum, I am actively avoiding dealing with the stamp rally on this island, but I definitely need to finish getting this done. And you know what we should do besides pressing buttons? Are you serious, Artsy? Come on now. Come on now. No. Assess. Assess me. Assess me, Blathers. Validate me and my life choices, please. I loved a particular thing about hard mode is that a lot of players added a couple more things to make hard mode even harder or more interesting for them. I know, for example, that Alexi Giovanni had made extreme mode where I think he was striving to make every single DIY that he learned. He was doing a lot of flower breeding on his island, which was really cool. I know that Dan from Crossing Minute had also incorporated, I think, visiting Brewster every day and also incorporating Happy Home Paradise to it. And for me, I did something a little spicy as well, but it wasn't anything that I had talked about openly. It was just something that I did. Was part of the rules, especially for villagers, is that you couldn't move their homes until you were able to gift them. And I also made sure that once I unlocked the ability to decorate villager homes, that I had to be able to befriend them in order to redesign their houses. Now, that didn't happen specifically with Chrissy because, you know, she was the last to arrive, and by that point I was pretty much done with hard mode. But I liked the idea that you have to be on at least a gifting basis with your villagers in order to completely just change out everything about them. And I really just came to appreciate a lot of like what challenges do for people. We're almost done with our dailies, and we're actually almost at that point where my son and I would be playing Animal Crossing. It's gonna be weird because as I said, I'm doing something kind of weird with this specific Animal Crossing save for a while, and it probably won't have an actual island until the end of the summer. But I'm very much looking forward to taking a break from regular playing. And that was the hard part about hard mode, is that you do have to devote a lot of time to playing Animal Crossing in order to make any headway with hard mode in general. And that's 5. My last fish catching of this island. This is wild. This feels so weird. But I will say, friends, that I will be incorporating a lot of mechanics from hard mode to other islands, I think. I believe that challenges like these allow for us to look at the game differently and to breathe life into gameplay, especially when you're feeling burnt out or feeling like you're having a creative lull. Where my Mr. Rogers themed neighborhood, for example, I invite villagers through random amiibo or through campsite. So that's been really cool to have villagers that I have in my binder full of amiibos that I would have never used or considered to, you know, be part of a neighborhood with friends, you know. I definitely feel that it supports my argument that any villager can fit a theme, that designing yourself into a corner will almost always turn out pretty much in your favor. And that, you know, don't be afraid to try new things simply because you can't find the custom code, because, you know, I can understand maybe some struggles with color theory, with values, perhaps. You struggle with, you know, trying to put things together, but there are so many different ways that you can incorporate custom codes and design them yourself that isn't just like having to rewrite the literal or reinvent the literal wheel of custom codes. So yeah, don't be afraid to, you know, try new things with custom codes. I will say that a lot of my custom codes were replications or, you know, literal copies of other people's, and the people who I copied from were, I cited my sources during the live stream. I can't really do that right now, but, you know, don't be afraid to do that. So as long as you're not saying that you created it yourself and that all the credit goes to you, it's okay to do that. Like, for example, these stepping stone paths, which I did create, I based pretty heavily off of a specific content creator who I use their stepping stone paths for literally almost every island that I've created. And it's okay to use references and heavily use references. I traced a couple of custom codes directly by like removing the opacity as an overlay for my stream so that I could get it exactly. And, you know, it's all about having fun and being excited about new mechanics, right? It goes in line with making content in general, is that a lot of people feel that, you know, so many people are doing one thing, that means that I can't do that because no one's going to watch. And that's not the point of making content. The point of making content is to share your unique perspective of things. And with hard mode, I got to take a break and take a breather and allow myself to make content while also trying to figure out what my next step was going to be and what I want to do and what I want to try. So don't be afraid to try new challenges in games. I know that a lot of people, though burnt out with Animal Crossing, you know, we have all of these Nook Miles rewards that, you know, catching thousands of fish or all of the fish, having a certain number of birthdays celebrated. Go all out. Go with the 100%. And I am completely procrastinating. This was not my favorite mechanic. Although this was a really easy boost for garnering friendship, I usually would do it in rotation so that my friendship capabilities were relatively well balanced. I didn't try to love bomb one person at a time. I just kind of threw caution to the wind and threw friendship at them. But how are we defining the end of hard mode, Katrina? Tell me. What do you see? Oh, I see something. Yes. I see a young fishing enthusiast and a young insect expert. Normally they... Uh-oh. It's an argument about whether bugs are friends or bait. From this vision, I deduce that your luck with friendship will diminish. Do I care at this point? Do I care at this point? You know what, Katrina? I can afford it. Sure. Purify me with your own freaking curse. I love it. I love it here. That's fine. Actually, this kind of is very on brand for me, because when I first started hard mode, I had to catch a crucian carp as part of my Nook Miles awards things that I had to do for my dailies for the first day, right? And for some reason, you can find a crucian carp just about anywhere when it's in season. You know, it's kind of like the black bass or the sea bass in a smaller little bundle, and I could not find this flipping fish, and I was held hostage during stream, which, you know, was fine. But thank you, Katrina. And that's it. Those are the final dailies. That's it. That's hard mode. Wow. Well, friends, that's it. If you are planning on visiting my hard mode island dream address, please let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts. I feel that although I don't want to be self-deprecating and say that it wasn't like my best island or anything, but it's definitely the island that I needed to make. It was a great palette cleanser, a great reset for all of the burnout that a lot of design content creators can go through. And, you know, if you are interested in doing challenges like this, don't be afraid to do it. Create your own. that's the joy of Animal Crossing and a lot of cozy games or farming sims, is that really what you do and what you decide to do and how you decide to play is that's the name of the game. That's it. I'm really awkward with like ending these sorts of videos, so just remember to take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, make art, play games, encourage others to do the same, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!